Hi guys, welcome back. I am the motorcycle rescuer and this is motorcycle rescuer. Me and John were just talking about who's big and who's fast. Actually, there's a couple of watchers on this channel who are kayakers, John. Ones that we don't necessarily know. Because one messaged me not too long ago. Me and John were just talking about going kayaking in Wales. Me and John are long term. We have been kayaking for years, running rivers and stuff, and we're both coaches. A lot of the kind of charities work we do as well is part of that. Over the years, I mean. So, yeah, I just want to run a river, guys. I just want to get back in a boat, top to bottom, run the river, come out alive, and maybe go and have a drink. Right, the river. Yeah, drink the river. What is this? This is the Valiant, okay? This is the carb conversion Valiant. This has been a long old project, and it's not far off. I believe where we got to last week was that the starter button works, although it's not working this morning, which is annoying. Maybe. Hopefully the battery's not in. Starter button didn't work, and also we had no spark. Now I think we resolved both them issues. I think the original coil is gone. That's going off and in the bin. I may look at the connections out of curiosity or keep the connection, but the coil itself is going in the bin. I think what it was doing was, when it gets up to temperature, it was failing. That's quite common with coils. So if you ever have a bike that's running along for the first minute or two and then fails, and you've checked everything else and the compression's good and the carbs are clean, etc., there is such thing as intermittent coil issues before it fully goes out. It's very common, actually. So I think that's what we had. And then I don't know if a dodgy plug caused the coil issue or if the coil issue caused a bad plug. I don't know if it was a fake. I think I got it from Halfords. I buy a lot from Halfords and I like Halfords, so I've not had many issues with Halfords over the years, if I'm being honest, guys. I know a couple of you messaged about them. And then I've put this old iridium or rhodium plug in, and it worked. So I need to swap the coils over full time just so we're mounted and secure. I've got a brand new battery for the bike over here, but I didn't want to put it in until the bike was close to being ready, you see. And then we need to just go over the electrics again, just make sure we've still got our lighting. Remember, we spent a lot of time working out how to get that front bulb up and going. And you know what, if we're really lucky today, we'll get a test run out of this on the GoPro. I'd really like to do that, actually. And then later, I'm delivering the little Piaggio to someone quite far, actually. 2 hours there, 2 hours back. 4-hour round trip. Part of me can't be asked. The other part of me thinks I just cannot afford to miss these sales. I'd prefer someone to come here and buy. But he left a deposit. He's done the right things. I don't mind going on the road for 2 hours, and well, 4 hours actually, and getting this done. So later I'm on the road. Kiwi has had lots and lots of attention, but just no one putting their hands in their pockets. And you've got all these triers out there. You know, I'll give you my first child and my Xbox 14. But no one's actually come and said, you know, let me have a look at it, let me try it, and put their hands in their pockets. So I'm not in a hurry on that one. I'm going to just wait it out. That will sell. $12.50 is the price. Anything over £1,000 I'll take. I've been offered 800s and 900s. People trying their luck. But I'm quite stubborn with that. And then, of course, we've got the Triumph. Someone mentioned that we should... he must have been the ambassador of Triumph. And he said, you should mention exactly what year your bike is so that people don't think these new bikes are breaking down. It's probably the stupidest comment I've heard ever, apart from the ones that call me dickheads and stuff. Like, anyone who's watching this channel knows we're working on a 50-year-old Triumph. And that was my reply. Anyone who watches the channel knows we're working on a 50-year-old Triumph. We might lead people to believe that new Triumphs are unreliable. Your bike looks at least 30 years old, he wrote. He's obviously watched, he's seen the title. I don't even know if he's clicked. He hasn't even watched it.
1973.
And then he's left a comment saying that we're misleading people. Everyone knows it's a 50-year-old Triumph. Right, let's see. So on this, I think it's time to put in a new battery. My kind of guess... Hang on, I haven't introduced the fact that I bought a full wiring loom for it. So in case this fails, I have bought a full wiring loom, and I am happy to do the changeover to it. It even has the CDI in here. Yes, it does. So I am happy to do a full changeover if anything else fails on this one now. I really don't mind doing that. But for now, I'm going to put in the battery, see if it starts on the button, and I'd like to take it for a quick test run just to give it a shakedown. I want to reconnect the wiring I did, which is these two here, to see if we still have front lights. Basically, I just want to make it a bike that starts and runs and rides now. So a few minutes, I'm going to sort all this out, and then kind of place it back together, probably just mock it up. I won't necessarily bolt the tank down or anything. And let's see what we can get out of it. We'll try and do a little test run. And Enfield, yeah.
I like it.
Alright guys, if this is as it should be, or I think it is, or isn't, it should start up, and it should have its normal functions, maybe even the front light and stuff. So it should start up on the button. Let's get some choke on, and then it also should have its basic functions. Let's So, after a fair amount of tinkering, we've kind of made some decisions in regards to the bikes. I think John's Triumph, I think we've decided it needs to go to someone who can tinker with it. Someone who knows a bit more. My guess is something to do with the valves, and John will let us know as soon as he finds out. My guess is something to do with the valves, like they're leaking or they're not seated properly, or one might be slightly bent. It's the right side, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
The right side's just not happy. And, you know, they're brand new coils, they're brand new leads, they're brand new caps, they're brand new plugs. The wiring system's fine. There really isn't anything left to look at. And I think if one of the valves on the right was, for example, open at the wrong time slightly because it was bent or out of place, or if when it was sealed it was not sealed, that would be introducing too much air in or too much mixture in. Or if it was the exhaust valve, it'd be letting the mixture out too fast, and that would explain then why it was detonating later, John, because it's letting out the mixture too early or something, and then it detonates a bit later down the exhaust. In my head, it's the valves, and actually if it is, it's not a huge problem. That I wonder if you can even buy a whole new head for that bike that's all set up and brand new. I bet you probably could. With the Lexmoto, don't get me wrong, right? It ran and rode up and down. It was very happy on a gentle throttle first third, and you could then raise it to the middle and high throttle. But what you couldn't do is smash the throttle back and get its full revs early. And we've seen that that bike loves its revs. So something's not quite right. And now I think the very obvious thing here is the second plug I stuck in, which I took out of an old bike that wasn't good. Obviously isn't great at all. It's that iridium plug. So I'm going to get a new spark plug for that tomorrow morning. and a new front bulb for this tomorrow morning, and yeah, and at some point with the Triumph we'll go to a specialist so that we can really get it looked at. I'll look online out of curiosity. I know a couple of places now about the heads, and there's not much else. I was just talking to John. Let me explain this to you guys. I mean, I don't understand it. I'm not sure John understood it ish. I'm not sure. It's not easy to explain. But here is, where is it? So this is the carb for the Suzuki AP50. So that's that one over there. But actually I've got a good one behind me, haven't I? Goodish. It doesn't like full throttle. Now here's the kind of battle I've been working with. There's your carb. There's no other carb like it. There's nothing out there like it. It's a different design. And then the manifold goes from here and it goes down and it goes onto a square base. Problem with this port here is it doesn't match anything else. So I'll show you, for example, a CG125 port here. It's smaller. So if I put it on the middle, look, it's much smaller. Of course that wouldn't work because it's a two-stroke anyway, so you'd need different jetting. But my aim would be to put a new carb, a modern two-stroke carb, onto the AP50. But I would need to work out a way of converting the bracket, which looks like this, onto a something that would then take it. Kind of our gentle options at this stage are something like that, which, you know, so then you'd use a rubber. So that would go onto the manifold the other side, then you'd put a rubber, and then you'd put a round end carb onto that, or similar. Alright everyone, I'm off. Don't worry, I'm not driving right now, I'm stationary, but I'm off to deliver this 50cc. 5-hour round trip.
6 hours later.
So, I know it might look like I haven't moved, but I was in Islington earlier when chatting. I'm now in Maidstone. I just sold the little Peugeot to such a lovely family, actually. I really like nice people. It sounds nuts. I know everyone should just be nice. But I really like kind of getting my bikes to nice people. People that are just genuinely nice and also remind me of me in many ways. This dad was buying it for his son because his son was doing really well, at 16. I love that. And it reminded me when we grew up quite poor. We grew up very poor, actually. And I used to get the Exchange and Marts. I think they were called the Exchange and Marts. And I think the Loot had a free paper. But any of them free kind of magazines that used to have bikes for sale, and they used to always have an under £1,000 section in them. I used to love reading them when I was kind of 14, 15, and then 16. And the week before I turned 16, I did a lifeguard course. I did the training that ended on my birthday. I was legally allowed to do it because the last day of the course was my birthday. And I started work on my birthday, in January when I was 16. I worked that day on my birthday, and I was really good with money. I grew up without any, and I became really good with money. Not great nowadays because I don't have any, but really good with money. And then I took I think 350 quid to a local one of the places in their magazines, and they were kind of laughing, not rudely, just laughing. And in the end, they pulled out this Suzuki AP50 in the back and dusted it off in front of me. And I did my saddest face I could muster. And I said, I haven't got a helmet. And they went back, pulled out a helmet. And I drove home on this 50cc Suzuki AP50 with a basic helmet. And I loved that bike. My first bike. I'd earned it. I'd paid for it. My life had changed. And I worked hard from then. From the day I hit 16, I've never not. And it's about being able to just get through life and have the minor luxuries that you want. It's achievable. I don't aim really high because I can't achieve it. But that first moped was an absolute luxury. So there's a bit of a story, because this is quite a boring video today. I feel sorry for you guys, but this is my life. I do a couple of hours at the garage on a day like today when there's not much to do, and then 5-hour round journey to deliver a little 50cc. which is lovely, to a lovely family. Young boy loved it, and that's brilliant.